And I take 2025 and I dedicate it to God. And for somebody, $2,025 dollars is a lot of money. For somebody, it's a seed sown. But if God could do everything that I'm asking for by giving him $2,025, it would be a steal, because I can ask for stuff.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. There is nothing wrong with sowing into the church. There's nothing wrong with tithes and offerings, with giving money, with supporting the ministry, especially if you feel as though the ministry does great work and that it is poured into your life. Nothing wrong with that at all. But once again, where I have a problem is when you have pastors standing in pulpits telling you things like, God told me that it's a certain amount of people in here that are supposed to sow a certain amount of dollars. And if you would sow this, then this is going to happen for you. And if you do that, then God is going to open up the... No. And the only reason I have a problem with it is because, number one, it's manipulative, but most importantly, it is not biblical. I saw another pastor speak on it recently, where he basically said, look, a lot of this stuff is witchcraft. When you start trying to pay for blessings and stuff like this, it doesn't work like that. This is not a quid pro quo situation where God told the pastor a certain amount of money, and then the pastor tells the people that certain amount, and then if the people give that certain amount, then they get a blessing. That's not how it works. And so when I saw Jake's up here, and first of all, let's just say this. Listen, it's just very important that people know when to sit down. It's very important to know when to sit down. When you had a good run, you had a good career, you had a good impact, but you're getting long in the tooth, you're up in age, you got to know when it's time to have a seat. And at this point in time, it's time for Jakes, it's time to sit down. If you just saw him up there just slow and slurring speech, and then even at one point had his wife come out there to bring him and hand him something, even she moving slow. Listen, you had a fantastic career in ministry, but it's time. It's over. It's time to sit down. That was the first part. But the second part, when he was talking about, you know what, I dedicate the year to God, I'm thinking he's talking about through prayer, through fasting, through obedience to the word, through studying. That's what I'm thinking he's getting at. But as you keep listening, what he's saying is, no, each year I give that dollar amount. So he's going to people talking about, I need some people in here to sow a seed of $2,025 because of all the stuff God's going to do in 2025. This is really a good deal. That's when it's like, come on, man. It's getting out of hand. When you start asking people to give $2,000, as if they give the church $2,000, that's going to have any impact on the type of year they have in 2025, that's my issue. Listen, if folk want to give $2,000, $4,000, $5,000 to the church, that's their money, that's their business. I don't have no problem with that. The issue is when you are having people thinking that if they give this amount of money, it's going to have some sort of impact on their year. And people are thinking that God is telling you to tell them that this a certain amount of money is going to ensure that they have a certain kind of a year. And it's just like, that's not true. That's wrong. That's my issue. Like, we got to stop. Like, people, you have to recognize changes and breakthroughs in your life are most likely going to come through obedience and living according to the word. The idea that you're just going to do whatever you want to do, live however you want to live, but the pastor's going to give you a certain dollar amount to give, and basically you're going to pay God for financial blessings or whatever kind of... No. Where in the Bible do you see that? Where in the Bible do you see people coming up to the apostles or coming up to the priest or coming up to the church and paying to be blessed by God? Y'all gotta wake up.